Michael Olise to Bayern Munich. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and some massive news has dropped. So I'm recording at 11 p.m. on a Friday night to bring you this video, but basically Chelsea have pulled out of the race for Michael Olise, and he has decided to join Bayern Munich. So I'm going to look at what happened in this deal and then what I think of it and whether we're really missing out as a result of him going to Bayern Munich or not, and what that means for Chelsea as a team. Michael Olise was actually close to signing for Chelsea last summer, but in the end decided to extend his stay at Crystal Palace by signing a new 4-year contract. So Chelsea's interest in him isn't new, and they approached Crystal Palace last Thursday in order to see if they could start negotiations with the player and make some initial contact. And Chelsea, in the end, put up an offer which they believe was a very strong offer, but it broke down due to the financial aspect of it and just those financial valuations being a bit out of reach, I think, in terms of player salary. So Chelsea are looking to restructure their wage bill. We know that it was a bit all over the place over the past coming years, and the signings that they've brought in are a much lower wages, but they do want to focus on rewarding players who are overperforming or outperforming their expectations, or signing new elite talent as well. So they're really trying to shift the focus of that wage bill. So at the end of the day, if Olise doesn't fit into the wage bill that Chelsea want, like, there's nothing that we can realistically do. I totally understand that, because that can cause a whole lot of problems in the future if you have somebody who's on ridiculous wages. So personally, I understand it. At the end of the day, he's chosen to join Bayern Munich. I think this is a really interesting move for him, because they do have a number of players like Gnabry, Sané, and Coleman who are all question marks. Thomas Müller is also getting towards the end of his career, so I think that he's going to be able to join this kind of new wave of Bayern talent. Musiala is there as well, and I think that he definitely will have like a lot of exciting opportunities and playing time. Where does this fit in for Chelsea? So everybody always asks me, like, when we were linked with Olise, like, oh, do you think it's a good move? Do you think that it makes sense? My answer was always like, I like the player, but I don't know. I need to research it more, because he's a right winger and Cole Palmer always played on the right hand side. And so then I'm thinking, you already have loads of talent in that right wing position that are primarily left-footed, like Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Omari Hutchinson, and Angelo Gabriel as well. Not to mention the likes of Esteban Willian and Kendry Paz, who are joining up in with the side in 2025. So there are already so many players. So I was kind of thinking, like, where does he fit in? How does this impact Chelsea's tactics? I would need to look into it further, and the only thing that I could realistically come up with was that maybe you have like Olise on the right and you play like a diamond, and Cole Palmer plays as like a 10 attacking midfielder, and then you have somebody on the left like Nkunku, and then maybe Jackson up top, or you switch them. But then I also thought, well, maybe Nkunku could play in that Cole Palmer attacking mid position, so then where does Cole Palmer fit? And honestly, like, with the season that Cole Palmer's had, I feel like he should be playing on the right hand side. I know that that might be a bit of an unpopular opinion perhaps, but that's just where I feel like he plays best. Like, we know that he can play all over the pitch and he's going to do a good job, but I feel like he's been at his most like potent or like his most dangerous when he's playing on that right hand side. And the last thing that I would want to do is to neutralize this massive threat that has been one of the best players like in Europe's top 5 leagues this past year. So I was always kind of considering, like, I need to look more into this. I need to see like how exactly he would fit in, because we already do have so much talent, and obviously you want talented players to join your squad. You do think that he would bring something new to Chelsea, he would elevate Chelsea, but at the end of the day, I do feel like we have a lot of players, and if we're not going to upset the wage structure, it just makes sense. So I'm not feeling like too hard done buy it personally. It's rumored that Chelsea are still going to be signing 2 new attacking players. I don't know like where. I feel like our midfield and attack is just like so overloaded, and we have so many players. So I couldn't tell you. I'm assuming they're probably looking for a striker in that second attacking position. I haven't seen anything about, but it'll be interesting to see if we have any people coming in, any people leaving, because I feel like we're already so stacked in the attack. And I'm kind of the mindset of like, I don't think that the attack really was bad last season. I actually think it was quite good. We created a lot of chances, we just didn't put them away. But then we saw at the end of the season, we started to convert more of those chances that we have been creating at the beginning of the season. So I think if we could just build off of the attack, there's a lot of really talented players there that we can build around for the future. And once you start bringing in players and messing with it, like, it can get complicated, because are you like worsening the team or are you strengthening it? It's like a very fine balance. But I'm excited to see how he gets on at Bayern Munich. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of him, and he'll be very successful there. So congrats to him for that move. It's massive. And on the Chelsea side, we have tons of transfer business and wildness coming up. So I'm sure it won't be a dull summer for Chelsea. Let me know what you think about this news about Olise officially not going to Chelsea but going to Bayern Munich, and what your thoughts are on it. Like, I feel like there's 2 main camps here. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, but let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this, and until next time, I'm out. Bye!